Have you ever kind of scratched your head about India's national holidays? I mean, it's a country with one independence, but it seems to celebrate two huge national days. You got August 15th, Independence Day, which makes sense, but then there's January 26th, Republic Day. So what's the real story there? Well, let's dig in and figure it out. Okay, so here's the big question, right? If India got its freedom from the British on August 15th, 1947, what in the world happened on January 26th that makes it so important? It's not like a second Independence Day, but it's something just as fundamental to what India is today. You know, the easiest way to think about it is like this. August 15th marks the end of an old chapter. That's freedom from colonial rule. But January 26th? That marks the beginning of a brand new one. It's the day India officially adopted its own rulebook, the Constitution, and became a true republic. So one day is about breaking the chains, and the other is about building a brand new house from the ground up. To really get this, we need to go back in time to that really crucial period right after independence. It was this strange in-between time, a gap between being free and being fully, completely self-governed. That's right. For almost 3 years after the British left in 1947, India was free, but it didn't have its own permanent set of laws. I mean, imagine the massive job of writing a constitution for one of the most diverse nations on Earth. That was still in the works. So, what did they do? How was the country actually run? And this is where it gets a little ironic. For its first few years of freedom, India was still mostly governed by a framework left behind by its old rulers, the Government of India Act of 1935. It was a temporary fix, of course, but it really shows you that just winning political freedom was only step one. The next and maybe even bigger step was to define what that freedom actually meant on India's own terms. And this is the moment everything changed. On January 26, 1950, that temporary system was officially over. India's very own constitution, a huge, detailed document drafted by Indians for Indians, finally came into effect. This was the moment the nation truly became a sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic, running on its own principles. Okay, but that brings up another question, doesn't it? Why that specific date? Why January 26th? Why not the first of the year or some other day? Well, the choice wasn't random at all. It was actually deeply, deeply symbolic. So, to understand why 1950 is so important, we actually have to hop in a time machine and go back 20 years, all the way to 1930. It turns out a really pivotal moment in the freedom struggle is the real key to this date. The whole story really revolves around this one powerful idea, Purna Swaraj. It's a Sanskrit term, and it means complete self-rule or complete independence. And this wasn't just some vague wish. It became the official,